Rather than lads, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Cossy. It is time to reveal our homework. This season, we've watched Arsenal, we've watched other clubs, we've watched Arsenal in comparison to other clubs, and we've discovered the strength and weaknesses of the side. So it is high time we decide that some players need to be coming in this summer. And of course, I'm going to be revealing my dream signings for Arsenal this summer. I need you guys to get into the comment box and reveal your dream signings for Arsenal this summer. It's a very, very difficult video because there's so many places, there are so many positions that Arsenal would have to fill if we were going to sign everybody's dream signings. But what I want to see is if we can have the same dream signings, at least one or two players colliding in our list. So join me in the comment box below, lads, by telling me at least 3 dream signings that you'd love Arsenal to sign. And of course, Mikel has said it, has put it very, very clearly and well, that the team lacks maturity and quality. So those signings should be adding quality and maturity to Arsenal Football Club. Now, before we get into the video, I'm going to really make a very, very big confession. This video is dropping a little bit late, and 2 of my dream signings have actually been taken. Darwin Núñez from Benfica to Liverpool is absolutely happening, so there is no reason for me to include Darwin Núñez anymore in my dream signings. And also, Ryan Gravenberch from Ajax to Bayern Munich is also done and dusted, so there is no reason for me to include Ryan Gravenberch on the list. But the rest of my dream signings would actually make Arsenal a better team and try to compete at the top level, especially now that we are back in Europe. Do me a favor, hit the like button for me. Let's get to 250 likes on this video, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel because we are very close at 50,000 subscribers. And this is one of the Arsenal podcast where we discuss everything Arsenal freely. There is no banter, there is no abuse, there is no disrespect. It's absolutely clean Arsenal content. So let's get into it. Number 5. I've gone with Serge Gnabry. I went with Serge Gnabry in number 5, and I have my reasons as to why I went with Serge Gnabry in that position. Now, Serge Gnabry has been absolutely outstanding and astounding actually for Bayern Munich. If you look at his statistics over the years, he's been absolutely an absolute revelation for Bayern. Look at that. 2018, 2019, 30 games, 10 goals. 19, 20, 31 games, 12 goals. 2020, 2021, 10 goals in 27 appearances. And last season, 14 goals in 34 appearances. And the number of assists per campaign is averaging at least 5 assists per campaign. So that's one of the reasons as to why I went for him. Arsenal and Mikel Arteta are trying to create that kind of a system where we have 3 forwards that can engage as much as possible in the goal creating process, score goals, and also create for them. We do not have a player on the left wing that can create as many chances as Serge Gnabry, and also we do not have a player scoring as many goals. Of course, Saka is giving us the same numbers on the right wing, trying to give us at least 13-14 goals per campaign. If you can continue on that road, you need the same energy on the left hand side. So I decided to go with Serge Gnabry on that wing. Of course, you have Gabriel Martinelli there, but what Serge Gnabry would come with is the experience from a big club like Bayern, the winning mentality, and of course you have a player coming in at a very, very cheap price, 35 million euros, and also in his prime. So for me, for all the right reasons, I thought Arsenal should be going for Serge Gnabry this summer as one of my dream signings. I do not know whether Arsenal will eventually come around and they will discuss him as an active target. The Athletic are claiming that his 100 million euros across 5 years would be hefty, and Arsenal do not want to come any close to that. But at least I've mentioned him as one of my dream signings for Arsenal this summer. In number 4, I've gone with Tino Livremento. Arsenal need a backup left back. There is no question with that. We need someone who can back up Kieran Tierney very, very strongly. Nuno Tavares did come in last summer, and we all thought with Tavares coming in, we are now safe at left back. It has not been the case. It has been absolutely far away from that. Actually, you can point out a couple of games where I think Nuno Tavares cost Arsenal, the game, Newcastle, Manchester United, and a couple of others. And I know many Arsenal fans will agree with me that Nuno Tavares is not such a bad player, but look, I think it's very, very raw. A loan deal for him this season could actually do him a very, very great, a great good. Like to a club for me in Italy, a club in the Championship, or a club in the Premier League. I could loan him out to Fulham, Nottingham Forest, or any of the clubs that would be interested in him. He's not a bad player. He's very, very good. He's got the vibe. He's got the energy. You can see that he's very, very enthusiastic about his job. So if you can get him a place where he can develop better, I don't think keeping him on the bench, signing in another left back, and keeping Nuno Tavares on the bench would actually help him. Tino Livremento coming in would actually give us that strong authority in terms of a backup for Quarantini, but also a player who can share games with share the amount of games and load with Quarantini to make sure that he doesn't pick up those very, very many injuries, courtesy of his of his game time. Remember, Quarantini is a key figure for Arsenal, a key figure for Scotland as well. So I really do not blame him when he gets he picks up those very, very many injuries, because he plays a lot of minutes for both country and club. So Tino Livremento has been absolutely amazing for Southampton this campaign, and I think if Arsenal brought him in, he's one player that is really going to develop further. I don't think he's an already made product, and if that, look, that price tag really tells you much about what you want to say. 35 million euros. He's English. It comes with the English prime, but Tino Livremento for me would be perfect fit. I thought about Marco Cucurella, Brighton, but then I thought many players and many clubs are going to go for Marco Cucurella, including Manchester City. Why not go for a player who is out of the bidding war in Tino Livremento? He's picked up a long-term injury, but that would not deter me from signing him, because Quarantine can play the first 20 games of a campaign, and then by that time Tino Livremento would be absolutely back and fit. So that is my second suggestion. Third on the list is Lao Taro Martinez. This one, lads, is a no-brainer. Arsenal need a striker. We need more than one striker. And the reason that's why I went with Lautaro Martinez, again, we have to back him with statistics. He's been absolutely fantastic for Inter Milan. Look at that. Over the past 3 seasons, he scored 14 goals in 35 appearances for 2019, 2020, 2021, 17 goals in 38 appearances. That means he played all the games available for Inter Milan in that campaign. And last campaign, he scored 21 goals with 3 assists. That is absolutely what you're looking for in a striker who can play for you at least a decent number of games in a campaign. 35 to 38, he's doing that. He's a player in his prime, 24, 25. I think, look, with strikers, these days it is even difficult to tell whether they're in their prime or not. Look at Robert Lewandowski. He's scoring 30 goals per campaign, but he's 34, 35. Cristiano Ronaldo is doing the same. Lionel Messi and many more. So look, but for me, he's in his prime. And with one of the reasons why I would take him, the quality he brings in at Arsenal would actually come very close to that of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Maybe not Alexander Lacazette, because he's been a total waste of money and time at Arsenal Football Club. But with Lautaro Martinez and those numbers, guys, just think about this. Arsenal having a player who can average 14, 17, 21, who can give us 14, 17, 21 goals in 3 consecutive in 3 back-to-back campaigns. That is what we are really looking for. Look, the price could be around 70 million euros, just like I put it here in the video on the overlay. 70 million euros might not be the concern for me. If Arsenal are bidding 90 million euros for Victor Osimhen, the kind of striker Lautaro Martinez fits very well into Mikel Arteta's style, fits very well into the Premier League for me. and he's proven that he can get the goals. He can be a support striker. He can also be your lead striker. Of course, at Inter Milan, in the past seasons, he's played with Romelu Lukaku and Edin Dzeko. I don't think that is a big concern for me. If you can get a good creator like Martin Odegaard to get him the chances, he's always going to finish them off. So Lao Taro Martinez, guys, for me, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. And when we talk about no-brainers, you know what another no-brainer is? That guy, Lucas Paqueta, in my second position. We're looking for a central midfielder. We're looking for one player who can play in a pivot. For example, you have Partey and Lucas Paqueta in that 4-2-3-1 position. 4-2-3-1 lineup. And then you're also looking at someone who can play in a 4-3-3 as a left attacking central midfielder. Which player can do that rather than Lucas Paqueta? One of the things, again, I've loved about Lucas Paqueta ever since he went to France has been the numbers. He's been absolutely smashing it for Lyon. Look at that. In his first 2 campaigns, he's averaged at least 30 games per campaign, and he scored 9 goals in each of the campaigns, assisting 5 times in 2020-2021 and assisting 6 times last campaign in 2021-2022. He's one of those players that have really caught the eye among the Brazilian talent, among the influx of Brazilian talent on the market. We missed out on Bruno Guimaraes from Lyon. That will not be a big issue if we can get Lucas Paqueta. His defensive ability is one of the reasons as to why I've actually gone for him. If you're looking for someone who can play in a pivot, you're looking for someone who can defend. And in the Coppa Italia, in the Coppa America, in the just concluded Coppa America, he's one of the players that actually completed more defensive duels in that competition. That speaks very highly of him, given the fact that he's highly technically gifted, he's very talented, and his strongest attributes of the game are more offensive rather than defensive. So he's a player who is not a liability when it comes to the team looking for possession or trying to win the ball back. Lucas Paqueta would fit into that. It would fit into all the positions, or into the profile of what Arsenal are trying to look for. A player in his prime, 25, 26. That is where he is. And again, if you signed him, you have a lot to get offensively and defensively. And finally, this is one that I would never leave out when I'm talking about my dream signings this season. Yves Bisuma. The reason that's why I've gone with Yves Bisuma again, we had him last summer on my dream signings, and I've also included him this summer on my dream signings. The reason that's why I put him in is Partey needs backup. Call Bisuma. For me, look, I've looked at many players. I've looked at Ibrahim Sangare. I've looked at Ruben Neves. All of them have been absolutely brilliant this season. But Yves Bisuma is almost averaging better statistics defensively than Thomas Partey. His passing accuracy this season is absolutely up in the air. 89%. Can you believe that? Just have a look at this. At his statistics. Passing accuracy is at 89.7%. That is in the 91% percentile. Clearances per 90, 2.17. Dribbles completed, 1.3. Tackles, 3.11. Interceptions, 2.3. Blocks, 1.8. And progressive carries, 4.35. That is typical of Thomas Partey. So if Arsenal are looking for someone who can give us what Thomas Partey gives us, and also someone who can give us something even better than what Thomas Partey can give us defensively, Yves Bisuma for me is the player. He's Premier League proven, and that's why I've chosen him over Ibrahima Sangare at PSV. And of course, I think he would come a little bit cheaper with a lot of quality, and that's why I've taken him over Ruben Neves. Like I said, his numbers are absolutely brilliant in some of the areas, like tackles per 90, dribbles per 90, pass completion per 90. He is even better than Thomas Partey. So what what better way to replace a player by with someone who is even better than him? He wants to join Arsenal. It is his dream to play for the club, and also he's one player that is not going to ask for a lot of game time. Especially in the first two campaigns. If you give him time in the Europa League, he's not going to be knocking on the door all the time complaining, and I think he's one that would definitely take his chances if Thomas Partey goes to AFCON. Of course, he would be going to AFCON as well, but he would take his chances if Partey gets injured, and he would also take his chances if Thomas Partey needs some bit of rotation. So those are my dream signings, and those are the reasons as to why I would go for them. In the comment section, I'm waiting for your dream signings and the reason as to why you think they would make Arsenal a better place.